Hello, I am your host. I am Stir Fry. You may know me from the last Peggle for Charity stream last year. This year we are raising money for the wonderful ACLU. On deck right now we have our first run of the night by the esteemed Peggle champion and master of extreme Grand Master runs, Poetry. He's going to be running the Peggle World of Warcraft Maximum event. He is going to be commentated by Satan herself, and please give a very warm welcome to these two very talented runners.
Hello. And yeah, welcome welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here doing the first run for this this marathon, and I think it's going to be a good time. And as Stir Fry mentioned, I am being joined by Satan herself, one of the co-organizers of this whole thing. And she is a very talented Peggle speedrunner who will be helping me commentate, because there are some moments in this speedrun that where I'm probably going to be locked in concentrating, and that'll be nice to have her along. Anything to say, Satan, before I start explaining the run a little bit and then we get into it?
Nope, I'm just really happy to be here. Again, thank you all so much for already raising $87 for the ACLU. That is absolutely incredible. Stir will announce our next incentive very, very shortly, so you are still absolutely donating towards incentives when you donate towards the event. So don't you worry, we have a lot of stuff to unlock today. So I'm thrilled that we got to unlock our first thing already, but we've got more to go. So we're ready. I'm really excited for this run. Poetry's been practicing for this relentlessly. He's been getting his times down further and further and getting more and more consistent. This is a really hard run, so I'm really proud of him for being able to, you know, do this. So let's get started.
Yeah, and I guess so we'll hop right into it in a second, but I do want to explain very briefly what Maximum, the name of this category, means. It's essentially a 100% speedrun of Peggle World of Warcraft Edition. This game has only 10 levels that we can see here. This is an already completed save file. We'll create a new one, and then it has 10 challenges as well. And so in a Maximum run, we will be not only beating all the levels, beating all the challenges, we'll also be full clearing and ace scoring all of the 10 levels as well. So we have a bunch of objectives to complete along the way. I think we'll explain those as we get going here, but I guess I think we're ready to go. And so I will first we'll make a new profile, and of course we'll name it after the marathon. And I guess the timer will start when I hit adventure, so I'll give a little countdown and we'll get going here in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and so we're right into the run here. And right away, I mean, so Peggle itself, obviously, the whole marathon is Peggle, so probably don't need to necessarily explain too much of the very basics, and I'm assuming a lot of people here probably already know a good bit about Peggle. So I think I'll kind of start by explaining a little bit about what the objectives are of this specific run, and Satan can also hop in at any point in time too, I would say.
Yeah, we'll also just note, of course, that there's 25 orange pegs per level, and we are trying to hit them all. That's what happens to progress to the next level. But yeah, describe all the additional exciting stuff that we're going to do in the Maximum run.
Yeah, so this run is, as I said before, there's 4 main objectives, you could kind of say. You have to beat the game in adventure mode, which is obviously what we're playing in now. There's also the ace score and the full clear for every level in the game. There is a bit of a misplay there, but it worked out. There is so full clearing and ace scoring every level. Those are objectives 2 and 3, and then finally beating all of the 10 challenges in the game as well. Let's see here. Give me a moment. Okay, so we got crazy mad skills there, which is basically what we need to ensure that we have the ace score for this level complete. Now we just need to make sure we don't mess up a couple of these free ball shots here.
While Poetry is setting up some of these shots, I'd like to tell viewers that one of the things that is typically not in this run is the WoW 50s fairies. But if you're excited for that, that's what you want to see. You're in luck. Because our next goal at $125 is for a bonus run of 1 Peggle WoW 50 Fairies run.
That's right.
Yeah, and
That's right.
and that run is it's quite a doozy, you know. It's one that I'm not very good at, but yeah. It's funny because people have argued, since it is one of the categories now, that it should be included in Maximum.
And essentially, if y'all don't know what 50 Fairies is, it's a really funny kind of meme run, but it also requires a lot of skill and practice to get really fast, where you just load up the Peggle World of Warcraft loading screen, and there's a bunch of fairies on that loading screen, and you can actually catch them. So the category is to catch 50 of those fairies, and that's it. It doesn't have Peggle mechanics. It's not related at all. Yeah, it's essentially a mini game. But our runner who would be doing that is Britshaw, and they've been getting really, really good at 50 Fairies lately and have been able to really lower that time. We would do that after the Peggle Nights Bingo run, and the incentive amount for that is $125 on the whole marathon. So right now we are at $87. That is super, super close. We can absolutely get that before bingo, so come on, chat, let's do it. All right, let's get back to talking about WoW, though.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, basically right now we are just playing through the levels in order, so there's nothing too much to say except that I am trying to, again, full clear and ace score every level. I do have a list of the ace scores up to my side. They don't show while you're in the run, actually, in adventure mode. But the ace score for this level is 350k. We get 100k at the end, and we have enough balls left that we get the ace, which you can see here. It shows after level. Well, this is the ace score that we're going for. Every level has a different ace score, target score, you could say. So this one is, for instance, 325k is the ace score for this level. A little bit of a fun fact is that the reason they're called ace scores, I don't know if there's actually any official confirmation of this, but I'm pretty sure it's basically confirmed that it's pretty clear to me at least that it's because one of the key programmers, or the key programmer of Peggle mechanics, Brian Rothstein, goes by the nickname of Ace, and I believe it's pretty much confirmed that that's like the reason why they're called ace scores. And even if that's not the exact reason, that's what I like to. That's my headcanon at the very least.
It's a good handcanon. I think that's very likely true. Yeah. Speaking of Brian Rothstein, so Brian Rothstein, of course, as you just mentioned, helped a lot with the level design and the coding of Peggle Deluxe, one of the forefathers of that game, I'll say, or I would say. And that's really awesome. He contacted us after the SGDQ 2023 Peggle Deluxe run, just to say hi. He saw it. And then he actually helped make a level for a later game that we're going to have on the schedule, Peggle Fevers. So Peggle Fevers technically has a level made by an original Peggle Deluxe developer, even though it is fan-made content. So if that doesn't get you excited for Peggle Fevers, I don't know what will.
It's looking like we might have our first fail here. I will say there are going to be multiple fails throughout this run, guaranteed. Pretty much, it's a very tricky run. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This. That's okay. Yeah, go again.
Yeah. There's going to be quite a few of that. There's also going to be a few challenges where we'll probably have to reset a few times, but that's kind of how it goes in a run like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Peggle World of Warcraft is already what most Pegglers would consider the hardest Peggle game on average by level. So, fully clearing it with every single challenge and every single full clear done is going to be, well, very hard.
Yeah, that's part of why I like it personally, though, is that it gives a good level of challenge throughout the whole run. And I kind of appreciate that, I guess.
Nice corner snipe there. That was cool.
Thanks.
And I like that you're clearing out the movers. That's important because movers are very hard to free ball, which means getting that sort of like ball shot right into that bucket so that you can keep clearing the level out.
Yeah, and here we're looking for long shots to get our score up, because right now full clear on this level is looking all right. It's more about that's unlucky. It didn't hit that at least.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
We're looking for score now because we are needing a good bit more. So let's see if I don't have any more Bjorns. Let's see if I can manually get that.
Oh,
almost a couple times there, but not quite.
Not quite. Okay. There's a couple different ways to up your score. So obviously hitting pegs gives you score. That's a good thing to do. But one thing that Poetry's been prioritizing throughout is something called style shots. That's all right. Go again. We get to explain this. I think this is actually a really good level for explaining score mechanics and stuff like that. So this is really nice. Something called style shots. The game there's one lucky bounce right there. The game goes ahead and gives you bonus points for special types of shots. So that's a really good example. That double long shot right there. Long shots are specifically from non-blue pegs to other non-blue pegs. You can have normal long shots, or if it's far away enough, you can get a super long shot. And if you get 2 right in a row, that's a double long shot. So Poetry's already gotten a lot of points from specifically those style points already. Very good.
Yep. Yeah, this is going a little better, although it remains to be seen if we're going to be able to full clear it here as well.
Full clearing also gives you a lot of points because it gives you a guaranteed 100,000 points at the end of the level. So that's really important too.
Yeah. Okay.
We also need to do it for the run.
Yeah, we're pretty good on points here at this point. So
yeah, looking
now
aced.
It's going to come down to, we have it guaranteed if we full clear. So now the question is just, can we full clear level? And
well, your movers are gone, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one thing that does make this this run in general a bit difficult. Is there are quite a few levels that have some difficult moving peg clusters and moving peg formations, you could say. So okay, hold on, let me dial in here to make sure we get this here. Okay, there we go. That's good.
I'm gonna jump in for a second to read some of the wonderful messages.
I was just about to say this is a great time to do that.
Yep.
To kick us off with the first donation that we've received by Seno. This was about 30 minutes ago while we were still setting up. They said, can't wait to see all the great runs for a great cause. Next up was Froppy Lover 1, who said, Froppy Lover $2.44 with a $2.44 donation. And then I think that's a shaved ice, pink flavored shaved ice and cat emoji.
Thank you, Froppy
did
Lover.
not send a message, but they gave a very generous donation of $50. And James Swan with a $10 donation said, let's get that ball rolling. And I can't say I disagree.
Absolutely fantastic. Those are some amazing donations. Thank you all so much for getting us started on such a bang. Already $87 raised is fantastic, but we are looking at that bonus 50 fairies run at $125 on the marathon. You don't have to click any extra buttons, by the way, when you donate for our incentives. They're all milestone incentives, so get that donation in.
Absolutely. So this is a tough level. It's gone all right so far. Let's see if we can clutch out here. This one has a lot of moving pegs and also just a lot of kind of clusters you have to dig your way through.
Yeah, this is a tough one, especially when you're playing with Bjorn. So there are actually 2 Peggle Masters in this game. They brought 2 of them back. Of course, the classic Bjorn, because you have to have Bjorn Unicorn in your game.
Yeah.
But they also have...
to not have him in it.
It's true, yeah. He would get really mad. We don't want to incur the wrath of Bjorn. But... the other Peggle Master that we have is none other than Splork. And Splork does big explosions when you hit a green peg. So that means that you can clear out large chunks of the level. And in a level like this with a bunch of movers, that's really useful. Bjorn is less useful for full clearing this level.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have Splork yet, so we have to use Bjorn. But... it could still work out. Let's see. Okay, that was a little risky there, a little iffy. Just got a couple left, so we don't actually...
Yeah, these movers are a little tricky, but they're not the worst movers to freeball. You can get this. Got this.
Oh,
that was
and so that's
close! That's a classic
rim
one.
moment there.
Yep. Sometimes the rim of the bucket is mean to us.
Yeah. So we'll have to go again. I generally use a strategy on this level that involves using a pixel shot. There's actually a much more precise pixel, but I don't really use it. I just kind of aim for this general area. Because when you're full clearing it, like, it kind of doesn't matter too much because we need to clear everything anyways. So I'm okay with it, the ball kind of going back in the middle here. And if anything, sometimes I actually like to do that a little bit because what you can do with that sometimes is use that as an opportunity like this to kind of ideally get the multiplier up, although, well, there's quite a few we need to hit the next tier of that.
Yeah, we actually haven't talked about the multiplier. That's a really
if you'd
important
like to,
mechanic.
It is a useful one in the parts of this run, so.
Absolutely. So the multiplier is actually a very, very important mechanic for ace scoring, which is we're going to see Poetry do a lot of, and for getting free balls. Essentially, every time you hit an orange peg, the multiplier in the right side of your screen is going to go up, and that means that every peg that you hit will be worth more points. So that's really important, obviously, for getting high points, which we need to ace score. But also, you get a free ball if you do a shot with 25,000 or more points in that single shot. So go ahead and, getting that multiplier up can be really, really useful for that. We also have these purple pegs, which Poetry has smartly waited until that's been in the circle here to boost our points. And if you get 75,000 points in a single shot, which we just saw Poetry do, you get 2 free balls. If you get 125 or more, you get 3 free balls. So you can get even more bonuses for those good shots.
Yeah, and this is going all right here. But once again, it's going to come down to, can I clear these movers? And these are a bit tough. Yep. That's actually, so that's not great, but we at least hit 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, we got a 2 for there, so that's good. Nice, well done. Ooh, very good.
And these,
Poetry showing off these free ball skills. This is way harder than it looks, by the way. Free balling static pegs is hard. It's getting movers
should be good here.
Still even
no
harder.
Matter what, so.
Yeah, we should be fine. Because those 2 on top, you can go ahead and get in one shot very easily.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a cool clear.
Ace, but that gives us
Beautiful.
way over the mark.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a great level clear. Well done.
Thank you. And this is now probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest level in the game to actually full clear, honestly. There's a couple later on that I think give it a run for its money, but we are, from that last one, which was already pretty difficult, this one is also very, very difficult. In fact, I'm going to leave this one as a safety orange. Basically, since we need to full clear, I am going to leave that one so that I don't accidentally end the level earlier than I'd like to.
Yeah, another one where Splork would be very, very useful here. Yeah. And if you want, any of these levels, Poetry wants to clear them in the any % portion because he has to play them here anyways. So trying to clear them here is a good idea. But he can also decide to just go ahead and hit all the oranges and not all the blues, or not try to get the ace score in any of these levels and try them again later with a different master. So it is possible we'll see him wait on this one.
Yeah, there are some cases where I might do that, especially if it's a level where I would say where it's very common is if there's a level that is pretty difficult to ace score, and I have a good shot at the ace score, but not the full clear. I might end early if I think that I could, leave with just one of those 2 objectives. It's still better than failing and then having to do both again. That's a common strategy, especially if I'm in a no reset run like this, where I'm. Ooh, that was unfortunate. That was bad timing on my part. But yeah, that can be a decent strategy. Ooh, yeah. So these pegs at the bottom, I would say the hardest part of this level is the movers, but another part that is also fairly difficult are a lot of these low pegs. Luckily,
they're much harder than you'd think they would be to go ahead and free ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can hit this here. Ooh, not quite. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay.
While we wait for some of these donations to get rolled in, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the ACLU.
Yeah,
the ACLU is a wonderful, wonderful nonprofit organization that fights for the rights of people. And while you may not know how they do this, the main way that they do this is they argue in the courts of America to point out ways that people have been unjustifiably discriminated against, that are unconstitutional in nature. And they have a wonderful winning record, more wins than losses, I'm pretty sure. And they are very good with all of the work that they do.
Absolutely, and that is who we are benefiting here at PFC 2024, the Pegglethon. So if you're getting your donation in, it's not only going towards our bonus runs and incentives, it's also going towards a great cause.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. So, in a situation like this, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to try to hit it in right about here. And basically, I'm just kind of hedging my bets and trying to hit multiple movers if possible, because I don't have any like clear shots. Like in this situation like this, definitely try to get this in here. Ooh, okay, there we go.
Nice, well done.
And yeah, and it hits a lot of the movers, so that's really good. That's what we want to see here. Similarly, I'm going to try something like this. Okay, that worked out better than I thought it would.
Whoa, that actually did work out really well. That was great. That makes this a viable attempt for sure.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we only have the one mover that is now out of the way. Taking a bit
now,
of a riskier play.
Of course, these are still hard free balls, so no guarantees.
Yeah.
But that looks much better than it could. This is a really hard level to both ace score and free ball. I also will say, like, it's easier to ace score if you full clear, for sure. But this game has some really high ace scores. So sometimes it's better to just not worry about the ace score when you are going for the full clear, and vice versa. They can be not always a pair.
Yeah, there's some levels later, actually, in fact, that we're going to see in a bit, where I will have to, or I have a couple strategies specifically designed to farm the ace score in situations that might not be better for the full clear. Like, in other words, because sometimes you have to. Okay, so far this is going all right. So I think we should be, as long as I don't jinx myself.
Yeah, these high up ones look like they might be hard, but they are the easiest to full clear for
they generally tend to be the most consistent to full clear, which is nice. Okay.
Nice CMS. We didn't talk about that before, but there are two. Oh, that was terrifying. Okay, I'm really glad that didn't hit the orange.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was so scary. But we haven't talked about this before, but there's actually some style shots that you can get from getting free balls in a row. So you can get mad skills, or MS, from getting 2 free balls in a row. Or not 2, 5. And then you can get CMS, or crazy mad skills, from getting 10 free balls in a row. And CMS in particular is worth 100,000 points. That is a huge bonus towards any ace score that you're looking to get. So very important.
Yep.
Also, this level's so satisfying. Just gorgeous slides all the way everywhere. This is the fastest level in all of Peggle, by the way.
True.
This is the fastest
I believe
one.
the record is like 11 seconds or something like that, or I think it's sub 11 seconds even.
I think it's sub 11 these days. Yeah. Yeah, it is the fastest level in all of Peggle, including the much easier game Peggle Deluxe, the somewhat easier games of Peggle Nights and Extreme, which you'll see later. All of Peggle, official Peggle. There's plenty of unofficial fan-made Peggle. We have a lot of that coming up today, by the way. A lot of fan-made content, which is super exciting. We also have a lot of level packs, so even though there are only 4 classic official Peggle games, I say only, that's a lot, but you know. They also did release a bunch of level packs, so those are like little groups of levels that you can download and play. And we're going to have 2 of those on the schedule as well. So we have kind of everything, honestly. This is such a great showcase of all the classic Peggle material. From everything from the classic games, Peggle Deluxe and Peggle Nights, to the spin-offs, World of Warcraft and Peggle Extreme, to the fan content, to the level packs. We've got it all.
Yeah, and it is always interesting, too. One thing we can mention here as a fun fact that people may not know, even people who have played these games, may not know this, but it's also interesting how they are, like, some of the similarities they share and how some of them are different. So, for instance, this game is built off the framework of Peggle Nights, whereas the other spin-off game, so to speak, of the classic ones, Peggle Extreme, was based off the framework of Peggle Deluxe. And while those games are, while they're, overall they're very similar, there are some minor differences that make them slightly different to play, especially in a run like this, actually. When it comes to style points, they're a little different, and some other things too.
Yeah. And now we also are seeing Splurk, our friendly alien friend. He showed up last level, but was less important there, so didn't really mention it. But when you hit the green peg, it goes ahead and blows up a big old radius, which of course is really helpful.
That's
because
unfortunate.
yeah, that is unfortunate. That's okay. We'll try it again. This is the optimal way to play this level, so, you know, we don't want Bjorn here, so Poetry's just gonna do this until the objective is done, probably.
Yeah.
Unless he feels like taking a break.
No, I definitely prefer Splork on this level, although Bjorn isn't the worst on it. But
No, certainly not. But yeah, you can see
um,
that green just wiped out that whole center structure, which is really helpful for us. It's also, oftentimes, the green will get you a free ball from points as well. Didn't that time, but it often will, so that's really useful too.
This one also has not only moving pegs, but these moving blockers, which are a bit of a pain to deal with. But that's totally fine. Luckily there aren't too many of the moving pegs. The blockers themselves are the more annoying part for sure. But they can also help in some situations. So this is not looking super great, but we'll see what we can do.
I'd just like to jump in here for a second. We have two new wonderful donations.
Yeah.
We have $5 from Red Drinks Red Bull, who says, free speech protections and Katamari. And we have $10 from Justified Flaw. Thank you for your donations.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Yeah, that Katamari incentive we've already got met for the We Peg Katamari level pack that we're going to see later. That is custom content by my Dia, who is going to be running his own custom content. It's going to be really awesome right after this run. Nice.
Yeah, and we'll see how we can do here on this level. Yeah, this is one of those things. Ooh, that's unfortunate, but
Ooh, lucky
worked
bounce
out.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Love that.
This is one of those situations where I'm definitely dialing in, trying to make sure we get all these, but these are not the easiest thing to free ball normally, let alone when you have this many blocker pegs or blocker balls moving around.
Yeah, for sure. And we still do have a moving peg in addition to that, so it's gonna be a
I did
little
plan for that,
tricky here.
luckily.
Ooh, Poetry's
I
got
got
a plan,
for the
Chad. Did
moving
you hear
peg.
that?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, we can talk a little bit more about the upcoming bonus run that we have as an incentive. We have that at $125 on the marathon right now, so we are just over $20 away from that. Not that far. Chat, you can absolutely do that. And that will happen after the Peggle Knights Bingo run, if we get that met. Yeah, nice scouting out that shot. And we talked about 50 fairies a little bit earlier, but let's talk about it one more time. That's actually technically a Peggle World of Warcraft run. So you'll see this game twice in one day. Nice, well done. That was an excellent save. I really wasn't sure you were going to get that, so really well done. Really, really well done.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. But yeah, technically that is a Peggle World of Warcraft game. Or run, because you load up the loading screen. Nice. That's a really good start to this level. And then you catch 50 of the fairies that come up on that loading screen. So it's kind of like a meme run, but it also requires a lot of skill and concentration. That one would be run by Britcha if we got that incentive met. So all your donations go towards every incentive on this marathon. It is a milestone system. So yeah. Thank you all so much for donating. We've already passed that $100 threshold to start off, so that's really awesome in our first run.
This level here is one of my favorites, I think. Not just in this game, but in like all of the
It's
classic
really
Peggle
good.
games.
This is a super fun level. Yeah.
It's a very dynamic, interesting level.
Ooh, nice. Well done.
Lots of ways you can like play it and stuff. Lots of just like unique like slides, unique little scoops like the one I just did there.
Yeah, also the level background's really funny. It's this really intimidating World of Warcraft guy. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft, so chat if you can help us out. If you like WoW, help us out. Who's this guy? But he's got the 100% blue ribbon, so he's full clear to level, at least.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sorry about my dog in the background. Not sure if he's.
Oh,
coming
you're
through,
good.
But...
You're good. All good. We want to hear from the dogs. We want a dog cameo, don't we? Our dog friends.
Let's see. There we go. That was a weird one to hit with the angle, but I missed that one.
He's the secret Peggle master we have in chat. I couldn't agree more. He is. All right, this is
Okay.
looking really good. Looking like
Yep.
an easy clear. Well done.
Absolutely. Don't even
Done
need to
with
save all the
ease
extra
and
balls.
style.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yes.
Yeah, even got
the
that
super
cool way to end
long.
it.
Yep, cool and faster, probably. Although,
And so now, this is, I think, I would say maybe the second hardest level. And I don't know,
yeah,
it
this
depends
one's
on what
hard.
we're looking at. And I'm going to be doing a bit of resetting here till I get a layout that works with the strats I have prepared. This is one of those levels where I do have strategies to kind of farm up points. Because even when you just go for a normal full clear on this, sometimes you miss the ace score. And yeah, and if that happens, we might have either the ace or the full clear without the other, and that means we'll just have to come back to it after this part of the run. Okay, we're waiting for a good layout here. So far, I haven't seen one I really like.
Yeah, this is a good time to mention one of the core mechanics of Peggle that we haven't quite delved into is the randomness. So there's of course randomness in like how your ball falls down the screen, but there's also randomness in where each like color and type of peg are in the run. So like the green is going to move every time, the blues are going to move every time, the oranges are going to move every time you boot up a level, and the purple actually moves every single shot. It moves between blue pegs. So Poetry was resetting a bunch there to get a good layout.
Mm-hmm. It's going all right so far. The problem again is the score. So I do have this shot here where if I time it right, we'll get an off-the-wall point here, which is actually one of the shots that didn't exist in Deluxe. So the fact that this game is built on Knights' framework means that we can use that to our advantage a little bit, farm up some points in that way. We can also, of course, go for free balling like we do on other levels. The problem is that this level is just a little bit trickier than a lot of other levels to free ball. So I don't like to I don't like to have to rely on it too much, but ooh, yeah, and it doesn't help if you make a mistake like that. This is a solid object here, this line, by the way. It's not very clear. That's why this portal takes you underneath there. But yeah, this level's a little trickier than it looks at first glance. Okay, let's see here. So we're just going to be free balling our way through.
I'm just gonna jump in here for a second. Oh my gosh.
All good.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to let you all know that we are oh so close to our next. Oh my gosh! Just while I was saying that, we have met our incentive for the 50
Amazing.
Fairies run by Britcha Jano with a Janano. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that the first time. With a 25-second $25 donation, said, "I want to see 50 fairies." Well, you have your wish. Coming up in a number of runs, Britcha will be running 50 fairies, and that should be very exciting. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. This is an interesting situation. I actually have plenty of score, but I may have kind of messed up a little bit in the full clear department. We'll see. Don't like the timing here. Okay, so I'm going to go for something a little riskier. Okay, worked out there. I kind of did not leave myself enough free balls to be able to really super consistently full clear this. But luckily I didn't mess that up. I'm going to go for a long free ball here.
That can sometimes be safer. Yeah. Good call. Very good call.
Okay. And there we go. So we got this one. We got this one first committed try. As we reset a bunch, but that's really good. That one is a tough one. Lots of
yeah, that was super. That's a super hard one. So really well done.
Okay. On to the final level. So yeah, we're just now reaching the final level. And yeah, that's the thing about these runs is that there are a lot of other Peggle categories that, or most of the time in Peggle categories, you're just playing through the level as quick as you can. And even in like ones like the GM runs, the Grandmaster runs, they are generally still you're just playing through the levels as quickly as you can and then doing some extra challenges afterwards. This one is kind of unique in that we are not only do we have to do the challenges, we also have to full clear everything, and the fact that you can do that during the any % part of the run means that you are incentivized to do so, right? Like you have to do that anyways, you might as well double up. And so that's why like the any % part of this run, which we're technically still in, is much longer than any like normal any % run would generally be if it was just that goal. So we're going to see here how this is. Okay, so I think we're going to risk this at this point. Kind of a weird situation on this level so far. We have a lot of the movers out of the way. And at this point, I think we're going to start working on points. And the way we're going to do that is by mainly freeballing here. Okay, until I mess it up, that is. We're going to take a couple of riskier shots here, and depending on how they go, we may have to just reset this level. Sometimes that's for the best. Yeah, let's see if we can't do something about it, though. Okay, that worked. The biggest thing now for me is I'm looking at, like, okay, so like I have 3 balls left after that. Only 1 mover. Can I reasonably full clear the rest of this level with only 2 balls? The answer is probably yes, but can I do that? Ooh, and also have enough points. And that's where I'm not so sure, but we're going to try our best.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky, but I believe in you. Absolutely.
Okay, so this is a bit of an interesting situation here as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
I respect that play.
Yeah. I don't know if that was actually worth it, because I probably should have actually just left them all for individual freeballing, although now I'm looking at maybe don't have enough anyways, or wouldn't have had enough for an extra crazy mad skills anyway. So I'm actually going to get rid of this one since it's blocking these. We're going to leave this one. Not the easiest one to get, but the A score here is 375. So actually, if we get a crazy mad skills, we should be set.
Yeah.
I think we have it.
Yeah, very nice.
So now we just need to make sure we actually full clear level, and we got it.
Go poetry! Beautiful. Oh, that level's so hard. I've played this run before, by the way, chat, so hopefully you believe me when I say that all of this is way harder than it looks.
Okay, so now we are on to, we have to wait for this. We actually have all of the aces and all of the full clears. We just need to do all of the challenges, so that's good. This is a good start to a run, because like sometimes you'll have cleanup and stuff you have to go back and do. This is a decent start. Also, interesting enough, I'm actually using Bjorn here, which is definitely not, I would say, not the most popular play for this challenge.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little surprised, but hey, why not?
Yeah, I tend to prefer being able to kind of guarantee get the big slide here, and for that, I prefer Bjorn, but we'll see.
Yeah, the big slide's really, really important. It is.
Yeah. Of course, seeing as we are done with all the full clears and aces, then we don't have to worry about them anymore. And even if we wanted to, what's interesting is that in Deluxe, you can get full clears in certain challenges. In this game, which is based off, again, Knights, we actually can. So even if we wanted to, we couldn't double up in challenge mode. In Peggle Deluxe, you can, but not in Knights and including WoW Edition. I'm going to go for this here. Just kind of hope to... Okay, nice. Hoping here to just kind of double up with some of these movers. Like basically, if I'm hitting one of these still ones anyways, might as well try to do it in a way that we also hit a mover.
Because movers are hard to freeball.
Easy situation, but we'll see if we can do it here. We don't need a free clear, or we don't need a full clear. I'm just making a path here so I can freeball these easier. Oh, okay. Might be a little out of luck. Let's see.
It's
still
possible.
viable,
it's possible.
It's gonna...
Yeah. Oh. A little less possible now. That's okay. Yeah. Do it again. So what's this challenge poetry, by the way, that you're doing right now?
Yeah, so this challenge is we are just beating a level. There's no extra objectives or anything, but there is the scenario is a little different in that we are, instead of having 25 orange pegs, we have 55. What's interesting is that, yeah, so this is a common thing in all of the games actually just have extra orange challenges. What's interesting, I think, is that they are... lots of times, in some ways, they can be more difficult. In some ways, they can be easier than the normal version of a level. Orange pegs themselves are worth more points, so that can make it easier. If you get a bunch of them all at once, you can more easily build up enough points to get a free ball. But at the same time, they are... that was unfortunate. They are... it means that it's harder to get the multiplier up. So let's see. So I kind of messed up a little bit here in that I didn't leave myself the full slide, but we can still get enough of it to do pretty well here. And we don't have any more moving orange pegs, so I'm feeling pretty good about this start.
Yeah, and
This
a
is,
little
I think
Bjorn
this-
here to help.
Yeah, this challenge is actually a little bit tougher than it looks. Like you would think that it's not that bad. You're just being leveled normally. In my experience, it could still be a little tricky. But yeah, so far it's going all right here. Just do that, and we have enough to easily beat the level now. Nice.
Well done. Very good. Yeah, 55 is the highest amount of orange pegs that any challenge ever gives you in
Yep.
any Peggle game. So that
And
just tells you how much they wanted to ramp up the difficulty of this game.
Yeah, and the now we're on to probably my least favorite challenge, honestly.
This one's so hard and annoying.
Yeah, which is a low score. On this level, we have to, normally when you're playing Peggle, you're trying to get the highest score possible. In this case, we need to get a low score. I would say luckily this one's not too bad compared to some of the other like level packs and stuff that you'll even be seeing later in this marathon. But the it's still not my favorite mechanic. I don't really care to. When I play Peggle, I want to get dopamine rush from the from the high score. I don't really want to do low score. So kind of to me not my favorite. But yeah, so here's I have to kind of think about this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of purposely want to get in here.
Nice.
And I'm hoping it doesn't hit too much extra. So, ooh, okay, nice. What we want to do here is we should be in a good spot because we now do this, aim right into the 10K.
Nice.
Like that. There you go.
Well done. It's duels time.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I don't think this duel is that bad, but
yeah, it could be a lot harder.
Yeah. The duels are never my favorite thing to do. Let's see. So at this point, yeah, the low score is one of the harder challenges. We do have a few other ones that are decently difficult, but I think most of them are pretty fun as well. The low score is one of the few ones that I'm kind of like, I don't really care for it. But okay, that was unfortunate. I was hoping it would bounce back into here. The way duels work is that if you don't hit an orange on your shot, there's some modifications to the core mechanics in a few ways actually, but the biggest thing is that you need to hit at least one orange on every shot, or you actually lose a chunk of your points. 30%, 25%, I can't actually remember. It's a chunk, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's 25.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's correct. But yeah,
Okay, so-
duels are all about score.
Yeah.
You're fighting against the computer AI, which is, of course, doing its best to outmatch you. And it can also see shots that you cannot see. Luckily, Poetry did a really good job there.
Yeah, this is another interesting challenge. We're back at this level, which I did say is like my favorite level in the game. And now we have to get 300k points, which isn't that much, but we only start with 7 balls. And I actually think this is a really fun one. It's a good test of your score capabilities. And I generally like to restart for specifics. I'm looking for specific things. Either a lot of oranges on these top and middle sections, or double greens on the opening shot I'm going to use here. And I have a special opening shot that's different than the one I used in the any percent part of the run. So this is good enough. And I'm actually going to do 25 left taps here, or right taps.
I'm just gonna jump in here for a second. While the donations still keep coming in, I want to remind people about the next incentive, which has updated, and nothing has changed except we've added something. In this revised incentive, the next milestone is that we have a bonus fast forward full clears and an announcement of a new incentive that will be exciting when it comes up.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
that is going to add a bonus full clears challenges section for polypies to do at the end of the double day run, which is coming up later today. It's not quite on the schedule that you can see on screen, but it is on the schedule you can see if you type !schedule and check out the whole schedule for the day, because it's a little bit later. But not only do we get to see those amazing full clears, but fast forwarded, so you're seeing Poetry do full clears. What if we did that, but way faster? You also get to find out what is our new bonus mystery incentive that we've just added to the schedule.
Okay. And here we're in a pretty good spot already. What I'm gonna do is actually you don't need to full clear level or anything here. You just need to get the score amount. You do need to win the level though. So what that means though is that like already technically you get 10k extra points for every free ball you have at the end of the level. So right now I have enough where if I were to finish right now, we would have the amount we need.
You
So
also
what I'm gonna
always get
do
at
is
least
I'm-
10k from Fever, so that helps.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. That's the other thing. So I'm going to do this, and we're already good here for this challenge. So ended up being just fine. And we're
That
on to
was
the
really
last one of
fast.
the first page. Last one of the first page of challenges. We have a whole nother page after this. Let's see if my strategy here works. I have a very primitive strategy here, but it normally works. Okay, it doesn't work here. So we're going to reset. I'm going to reset until we actually get good generation. This is pretty decent. Basically, I look for a certain kind of a aiming scenario. I go for this with a certain timing, and generally you get a ball back, and now we have 2 balls instead of the 1 that we started with for this challenge.
Yeah, which is very helpful. And yeah, we only start with 1 ball for this challenge. This is the 1 ball challenge from this game. There's a 1 ball challenge in almost every Peggle official title except for Peggle Extreme. And it basically just makes it so that you have to clear a admittedly pretty easy level with only 1 ball.
What's interesting is that this level is not the same layout as the normal version of this level. It's
That's
a
right.
unique layout.
This is
Ooh,
actually
that's
an alt
unfortunate.
version of the level. So technically, sort of, Peggle WoW has 11 levels-ish.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. So this should be enough for a ball back. So I'm gonna take the
Nice.
risky play here.
Well done. Well assessed.
Okay.
Now we have Bjorn,
the reason
which
I'm
is
getting that
helpful.
here is because some of these are a little weird on these innermost rings.
Yeah, the innermost rings cannot be
But-
trusted, so that was a good
Yeah.
play.
Okay.
can't.
We get this one first try, or well, second try. We had the other one that I reset on. Okay, and now we're on to the second page. We do have a few tough challenges here as well. This one, luckily, pretty easy. This is one of the easiest challenges in the game for sure. We have to get 200k style points. We just got 100k from that one shot. I'm gonna get another 25 here. Oh, and another 50k there. That was actually
Whoa.
not planned. And we're gonna get this for another 25k long shot
That
points.
one is one of the fastest ones of that I've ever seen. By the way.
Funnily enough, this is another very fast one. It is even faster if you don't use tap strats like I do. There are pixel shots for this. I do use a pixel shot on the second shot here. Oh, I might have messed this up. Okay. Sometimes you can mess it up if you hit the bucket there. Messing up the third slide, that is. But even with my tap strats, we still get what we need. Another challenge done.
Also, sorry
we
for
just start-
viewers, the timer just reset by accident. Sorry about that.
Oh, whoops.
It
No
was already a
worries.
little messed up. It's been about 45 minutes, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
While they get
Absolutely, yeah.
sorted out, and poetry, I'm going to give you a chance to think deeply about these
Mhm.
difficult shots.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the ACLU and why they're so important.
Yes.
A lot of the time when we think of fighting for civil rights or in court, we have sort of a nebulous idea of what they're doing, and we're not really 100% certain. But to read off some of their accomplishments, most notably, as what is taught in our American school districts, you might know the ACLU as the lawyers behind Brown versus Board of Education in 1954. A absolute landmark decision that they fought for and won, and desegregated our public school systems. More recently, they also won the case of Obergefell. I'm not sure how to pronounce Hodge versus Obergefell. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I've mispronounced anything. Which is the landmark case that is allowing people to get married if they are the same sex. These are vastly important cases to a lot of people in our society, and hopefully they're able to put forth a lot more work just like this.
Yeah, those are
Absolutely.
some really, really important civil cases. These civil cases have changed so many lives for the better, and the ACLU is fighting really, really important battles like these, and also fighting for individuals as well. They do a lot of individual cases as well to try to help people who are in a tough spot be able to have their voice heard. So it's an awesome organization. Really, really happy to be benefiting it, and that we've already raised more than $100. That is incredible. And speaking of Stir, real quick, what is our incentive amount for that next incentive, that fast forward full clear we mentioned earlier?
That is a great question. Our incentive amount is $225. We are less than $100 away, and we just need one push to get there, in my mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've got time, but it's going to go by way faster than you think. And also, as soon as we meet that incentive, we get to find out what our bonus final best incentive big giant fun thing is.
I know
Absolutely.
for now
yeah.
that is.
So
Yeah.
by the way, Poetry.
Well- That's. Oh
Is
wait,
it gonna
okay,
be
we still
fine?
need the 50.
It's gonna be fine.
That was really funny. That is a ridiculous shot.
Wow. Okay, so we didn't quite explain what happened there, but Poetry was doing a challenge called Podixia. Do you want to explain a little more?
Yeah, well,
Poetry.
we're actually back on that same level here, but basically on this level, now we don't have to do that anymore, but it was a points challenge, and definitely the toughest points challenge in this run, where we had to get 400k points on this level. The thing about this level that makes that challenge difficult, by the way, is that it's just doesn't have a lot of pegs in general, just kind of is a fairly sparse level. And the reason that was difficult is because, or the reason that makes it difficult is just less stuff to score off of, which is why the way I played it there was by getting a lot of what's it called, long shots, and it ended up working out there very luckily at the end, to be fair. And we're actually on to the final challenge at this point, so we're actually kind of nearing the end of this run, which is I guess it's called the Epic Question. I just call it the Pentathlon. Basically, we have to beat 5 levels in a row. And unlike the Decathlon in Deluxe and in the other games, it isn't actually random. It's a set order of 5 levels. And so it's not quite as bad. It's a little more predictable what you're going to be getting. But a few of the levels are fairly tough ones, so kind of trickier in that sense. Okay, so and yeah, now that we are just, we're just beating the levels, we don't have to worry about full clear or anything, so we're just going through them. But even that is not always the easiest thing in the world. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and now we should be good for this level. Okay, we're on to 3rd out of 5 levels. It's this one here. Not the best generation, honestly. I think we'll still use Splork. This moving green here, it's not the best because it's never going to be too close to everything else. That was pretty lucky.
That was lucky, though.
This is but yeah, these levels. I mean, I definitely don't mind this challenge as a way of wrapping it up too, though, because I always find it fun because it is just, you've done all the hard part of full clearing everything. So now it's almost like you're just kind of like going back through everything and being like, yeah, like I already beat all this. Now we're just having a nice jaunt through the rest of the levels once more. But yeah, but like I said, you can't get too complacent. Some of the levels are a little tough still.
Absolutely. Yep, you're rocketing your way through this level, though, so very good. Yeah, it does feel like a huge relief to do this challenge at the end of everything. You're like, oh, I get to just play Peggle. You get to go fast. Yay!
I think the next one is 2-3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If I'm right. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Usually this one's not a pain, but, yeah, you can never get too complacent.
Yep, and I'm actually going to use Bjorn here. I was doing my 25 tap strat, which is very excessive here, but I just want to make sure that we open up the level in a nice way. It's funny, yeah, because I you know, for a long time I've had this sort of this meme strategy that I use in Peggle Deluxe on a specific level there, where I have a 25 tap strat, and I have one in this game too. So it's kind of silly.
Yeah, that really does mean literally Poetry taps on his keyboard 25 times.
Yep.
Kind of silly. Yeah, we haven't talked about strats too much this run, actually. There's some ways that you can get consistent shots because the Peggle physics system is actually completely consistent. And one of those is, as Poetry was talking about, aiming at a certain corner, so like left or right, and then tapping on your keyboard a certain amount of times. You'll be able to set that same shot up every single time. Of course, moving pegs can sometimes mess that up, so there are certain levels where you can't do that, especially in Peggle World of Warcraft, which contains a lot of movers in a lot of levels. But there are some strats still that work.
I think one of the reasons it's not super, like, I haven't really brought it up too much as well, is just that the fact that when we are going for full clears and ace scores and stuff, lots of times you can't really rely on them too much. They're going to help you a little bit. They're not going to necessarily solve all the problems you have to solve.
Yep, absolutely. Especially in this game. For
All right,
sure.
we're on to the final level. This is, I would say, the toughest one of this set, though. Not the best generation, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go with Spork here, specifically because of the screen here. But it's not, I would say it's not the worst either. The problem here is that we have a lot of oranges that are moving in the middle part of the level. At the same time, the good side, or the good news, is that we have a lot of, or there's not as much of the, there's not as many pigs on the edge of the level. So we can kind of very quickly get it down to just the tough ones that we need to worry about, and just start working on them. So that was decent.
Nice.
So the fact that I need to hit these anyways means I'm just going to kind of start digging my way down, but it's not the easiest scenario. Okay, I can actually hit this one like this as well, and
Nice.
that helps out a good bit. That also helps out a good bit, getting 2 for 1 there, and we are pretty much good at this point because there's nothing else blocking our way. So I think that we're going to have time right... Oh, we don't have the timer right now. There's actually no... what's interesting, there's no pop-up, except it does say you are maximum here at the menu screen.
You are maximum.
But yeah, all the aces, all the aces, all the full clears, and 10 out of 10 challenges. So there we go.
Well done.
Yeah, definitely a few hiccups here and there, but that's kind of how this run lots of times goes. It's a pretty tricky one, I would say, for anyone in chat who or anyone watching this run at any point. WoW Edition is really fun, and I think it's also a really good way to dip your toes into Peggle as well. Like, it's not quite as intimidating as like Peggle Deluxe and Knights, and especially if you're interested in the more like the challenges, which with their unique goals and the full clears and aces, I really recommend it. So
yeah,
and
we should
run.
Stir, real quick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to mention really quickly that this game is free. You can download it off the internet for free. So if you want to dip your toes into Peggle, even more of a reason. All right, go ahead, Stir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a very easily accessible link on speedrun.com. But Poetry, that was a very excellent run. 53 minutes-ish. That seems like a wonderful time to me. I don't know how good it actually is, but
I think we were right
That's
around
really solid.
I put an hour because it can have a bit of variance, but I was hoping for a low 50s time. So
You definitely got it. And where can the viewers find you?
Yeah, so I do stream on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PoetryStudGaming. Lately, I've also been trying to do a lot more with my YouTube channel, where I've posted some kind of more highly edited videos than what I used to do, at least, including some speedrunning history videos of Peggle, which I'm really proud of. So it's just YouTube. If you just type PoetryStud on YouTube, it should pop up. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was absolutely amazing.
I think that's it for our first run of the night. We're going to be transitioning into a break here soon. I sadly will not be with you after the break. I have to do some boring parenting stuff. But I am leaving you in extremely well-trusted hands in Satan herself, as the host. Satan is very well accomplished in the hosting scene, hosting for GDQ, which is mind-boggling to me that I am in the room with or Discord call with someone who is so good and talented at these sorts of things. So I'm sure you will have a wonderful time with Satan on our next run, which is Peggle Knights, the 101, the 1-0 run, with Medea, with Satan herself as the host. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, we certainly will, I think. Thank you so much for hosting, Stir. And if you enjoyed Stir on the Mic, as I absolutely did, stick around. Stir is going to be hosting later today. So, yeah, it's going to be great. And Poetry is going to be back too. He's going to be running,
that's true.
actually, the last currently scheduled run of the event. I'm saying currently scheduled because there may or may not be a bonus run that we could unlock after that. All right.
The last currently scheduled event is, I think, Jano's, right?
Jay Nano and Poetry are going to be racing.
Nano.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I see. That's going to be a lot of fun. So stick around for that, and I'll see you guys later.
Yes,
Or
see
see you
you
all
later. Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and transition over into our break screen, and then we're going to be back really soon with that 1-0 run. See y'all soon.